essentially they've managed to get into the site and they've taken some material and stuff from there. Now we've got it on camera.
Okay guys, it's a new week and we've got a new part of the project. The walls, they're going up. The bricklayers have given me a quick call and said, look, we've got to site and we've not got any insulation discs, so I quickly popped over to Screwfix just now. They've got them in stock. That basically just this goes onto the insulation, just stops it from moving or sagging over time. So part of the regulations, so get those on. But yeah, let's get on to site. Let's get these boxes of insulation clips to them, and let's see what they're doing as well. Hopefully they're making the walls straight and they're not going off at different angles. Right, let's get cracking. So who here would like to see the walls go up? I know I do. So let's jump straight into it. Now, the first step to the brickwork is to station all the materials around the perimeter. So the guys are laying the bricks on the outer leaf, along with getting our cement mixes stationed in the right areas. Now the blocks will also be placed internally so we can get both inner and outer leaves up at the same time. Now, as you can see there's a timber structure that we've temporarily stationed on the ends. This will be used along with string lines to create a seamless straight run across the back face. Now, with 18 linear meters along the back face, we need to make sure this is very accurate. So from this footage, you can also see the foil insulation has been placed along with the insulation clips to make sure there are no gaps as the walls rise. We've got a 90mm insulation with a 10mm gap to conform to the current regulation standards. Now, part of the puzzle to make the walls look great is pointing, and as you can see here, we're doing this as we go along so we can make sure it's looking sharp. With the ground floor to first floor being brickwork, we need to make sure the pointing is clean and tidy all the way round. Of course, with all the steels in place and the blockwork and the brickwork taking shape, we can also start to see how large the ground floor footprint will be. And later on, I will also be creating a detailed 3D render. This is more for the internal partitions. You can see what the internal layout will look like. Now, another thing I want to point out is, can you see that? That's where we've started the extension. And you can see we've toothed the bricks. The reason we've toothed the bricks is because they can basically blend in a bit better. However, we can still see that that's old and that's new. So we can work our way around that a few ways. Well, acid wash the brickwork. And that's what we're going to do probably a bit later, just to get these old bricks up to standard. And then you can see that it's more of a seamless wall rather than, yep, that's where you've done your extension, mate. And that's the old part. Some people, which is not the right way, which looks even worse, basically have a harsh line all the way down and just start the brickwork, which looks worse in my opinion. So we'll all be getting that sorted, and yeah, it should blend in even better. Right, let's quickly run through what we've achieved so far. So, as you can see behind me, you can see some bricks. That's the external leaf, and we've done brickwork all across the external leaf on the back and the sides. Now, we're not going to be doing bricks on the first floor. Now, the reason for that is because we're basically adding render to the property, and that will be only the first floor portion of the property. The front, the sides, and the back will all be completed in render. Now, why would we need to do lovely brickwork, although this brickwork is a bit wet at the moment, so it doesn't look its best? Why would we be doing that when it's all going to get covered up? So there'll be block work to the first floor portion of the property. Now, you can see we've covered up the bifold door areas. We've blocked those off for security. I want to also touch base on how we've constructed the walls. You've got brickwork on the external leaf, which is what you see there. You've got aerated blocks on the internal leaf, and you have a void in between. Now, the void in between we've left is 100 mil, and the reason for that is because we want to achieve the best U value we can possibly achieve. So, with that 100 mil cavity, that void, we've also allowed for 90 mil of rigid insulation. That leaves a 10 mil air gap to complete the 100 mil. Now, as you can see, I was very happy with the progress this week because we managed to get a very crucial stage of the build out of the way. But as we packed up at the end of the week, we were hit with a very nasty surprise the following day. All I can say is I don't think anyone was prepared for what happened next. Right, it's currently 1:30 in the morning at the moment, and I've been woken up to the site being broken into. Essentially, they've managed to get into the site and they've taken some material and stuff from there. Now we've got it on camera. The camera has picked it up, so I think I've even got some faces in there. So we will lay those clips a bit later, and we'll assess the situation in the morning on site. Okay, so we're going to the site where we've had this burglary. Now, the staff member's already we've assessed the situation. We've seen they've bent a fence to get in. So I don't know how they've done that in the middle of the night as well. Surprised no neighbors have heard anything. So we're gonna go there, have a look. We'll also show you the bent fence, and I'll give you a quick walkthrough as to how they've done it. And then I'll overlay the video footage of what they did. You can clearly see that they've taken some material and they've hauled a ton bag of stuff out. So yeah, we'll catch you there. I'm gonna get to the site now, and then let's see how bad this is. Okay, so I'm just getting to site now. Let's hop out, and luckily Raf, our staff member, has managed to sort the fence out already, so we'll get that sorted and see what the problem is. As you can see here, this is where they've bent it from, in the middle of the night as well. Can you believe it? So this has been bent. They've crawled through a gap which was over there, and then they've entered the site. Now they've seen the camera, they've looked at the camera as well, and it just shows you how blasé they are about the whole situation. They've walked around the side here of the property, and to the end we had some scrap copper, which you can resell and make some money from, and also some tools and things like that in our shed. So what we're going to do now is we're probably going to double up these fences and lay them across this area as well to reinforce the barrier to the site, just to stop them getting in again. But we are going to have better security as well. As the walls have gone up, we're going to get the first floor done. By then we can then get the windows in and start closing off this area, because the last thing we want is something like this happening again. Bit of material lost, bit of scrap copper lost as well, which was unfortunate. I was looking forward to a bit of a Christmas bonus, but it is what it is. So guys, at the end of the video I will be touching more on this as to what happened. I've also got some footage, well, basically catching the culprits red-handed as to what they were doing. This will all be more in detail further on. However, we do still need to get cracking with the rest of the work. So, security bolstered up, we then crack on to the internal layout. So we've had them put just inside the garage. As we've got the roof open at the moment, it's worked out quite well, which leaves us more space around this area, so our grab lorry tomorrow can come in and collect that and get that waste out of the way. So with the latest delivery of the blocks partly stationed in the existing garage, which is currently open, and the other side of the site, we then got cracking with the internal walls. These were constructed of old partition 4x2 timbers, which were worse for wear. So we decided to do a comprehensive job, as we were already doing quite a lot to the internal layout, and get this all done properly. Now you can see me also creating a 3D render. This will also be displayed just shortly, just to show you what the property will look like from the ground floor. Right, so this beautiful family home will have a dining and living space, all open plan on one of the sides of the property. We've got a kitchen which is also open plan with some nice living space which you can see out through the bifolds, a WC which is stationed in the middle of the property, a front office space which will also house a shower room next door, and then finally in the garage you've also got a gymnasium area and also a small shower room. With that being said, let's get back to what happened with that burglary, and I've got some interesting updates for all you guys.
Right, it's been a couple of days and we've actually found out some more information as to what happened on that day and what vehicle they were using and what's happened previously in that area as well. We heard that 2 individuals were caught before. One got a £250 fine and another got a few hours of community service. I mean, it seems very soft for what you're doing, you know, especially one thing is breaking into a site, but another thing is breaking into potentially a person's family home. So I find it crazy how this is what the laws are for these kind of people. However, what had happened, and the backstory is that Friday evening, we'd basically locked up the site as usual. Cameras are on, and around 1 a.m. they're lurking around outside, planning what they want to do and how they could get in. I mean, they've then proceeded to bend that fence enough for them to get through, wandered around on site, picked up what they want, and then proceeded to bag it in empty ton bags. Can you believe it? The audacity, like they're going shopping, and then carry it all out, crawl up back underneath the fence, load up their van and drive off. I mean, it is what it is. What it does mean is that we've had a bit of a reality check, made sure that we've bolstered up security and tried to stop this from happening again, essentially. When you look at the CCTV footage, it's just more frustrating than anything. What I find more annoying is how casually they're walking in. Anyway, all that aside, what do you guys think? Do you think that the laws are a bit too soft? I mean, if you've been caught red-handed and you're getting a couple £100 fine and one's getting a bit of community service, what do you guys think? Do you think that's fair, or do you think there should be tougher laws in place for people like this? But anyway, I thought I'd fill you in, guys, but maybe comment on this one because there's something to talk about, you know? Thank you much, guys. As always, see you in the next video.
Oh, and while you're there, please subscribe. I've noticed 80% of you are not subscribed to the channel, but you view the videos. So please subscribe. Let's get to, let's say, 100 subscribers. I think that's not too much of a tall order. Let's try to get there. That would be great. And remember, it won't just be the abandoned property that I'm showing. There's the next episode maybe that might be a little bit different. So please subscribe. Stay tuned for more interesting, hopefully, interesting content. That was a dog there. I don't know if you heard that. He's also agreeing with what I'm saying. So yeah, go on, mate. Please subscribe to the channel, mate.